Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, hello. Good morning. Good morning, Dr. Tyra. How are you this morning?
I'm great. How about you?
I am doing awesome. I am doing great this morning out here in sunny California, but I don't have that much sun, but I'm doing good.
Oh, I know that's right. It's well,
Yes.
we got sun, but the sun keeps going in and out on us. One moment is sunny, next moment is not, and I'm sitting up here like, oh my goodness, we not doing this. We not doing this.
Exactly. So I feel so good. I am great this morning. So
Mhm.
is it cold there? Tell me about the weather there.
46, 46 degrees outside.
46 degrees?
Yeah,
Oh,
46
wow.
degrees outside, and
Okay.
yeah,
But it's still
but it's
sunny.
but yeah, but it's still sunny. You know what? Because we had a few days. It looked very dismal the past few days. So to have
Okay.
the sun out today, it feels good.
Got it.
Feels
Got it.
real good. So
Got
just
it.
to have it look a little brighter.
Yes, that's a good
Because
thing. That's a good thing.
sometimes it's just so.
Does it affect your
Yeah.
mood?
Um. You know what? You're gonna laugh at me when I tell you this. It affects my mood. It affects my sleep habits. Cause let me tell you, Dr. Candace, I'm. Everybody knows I get up between 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning, right? Let me
Oh
tell you
wow.
how this week I wasn't up. I ain't climbed out my bed to almost 7,
I don't blame you.
and I
That's
was
okay.
just like, but on Thursdays I got at 8 o'clock. I like to
Okay.
have at least an hour to get myself together. And so I climbed out of bed. I had to jump in the shower, get myself together, and be ready for 8 o'clock. Like, good morning. Oh,
Absolutely. I know. I
so
get it. It's something. I totally get it. But I'm glad. I'm glad you just was able to relax. Just able.
yeah,
Were you too warm? Is that why you didn't want to get up? Were you too warm and too comfortable?
I was lazy. I just felt like resting.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And it's so
We
funny. I
need
got
that.
all these calendars and don't have nothing in them. I had to pull them out. Like, okay, let me start writing out what I need to do
Exactly.
because
I
I
know.
rely on this phone. And no, that's not good. So.
Yes, let's talk about that just for a couple of minutes. Do
Mhm.
you think we rely on our phones a lot?
We rely on our phone too much.
I agree with
We put
you.
our schedules in it. Let me tell you, put the schedules in it, an update happens, and all the schedules is lost. So what
I
do you
know.
do? Especially if you don't have it written down. So now I find myself doing more writing down because I'm just like I can't keep having this happening. Where I'm
Exactly.
constantly losing stuff.
Exactly. Absolutely. So you know what I'm going to do? I
What's
think
that?
I'm going to do this. I
What's
am
that?
going, because I haven't did this in years, Dr. T. Dr. Tyra, I'm getting an old school phone book.
Oh, I don't see why not. Might as
Girl, I ain't
well.
had that in years.
Look, I got the old school calendar here. They got the phone book in the back. I went and bought these calendars.
I like that.
And so I
Okay.
got a bunch of these that I bought, and I said, this is it. This is what I'm doing. And I got the wall calendar. So we gotta do better.
Yes, we have to do
Gotta
better.
do better. Gotta do better.
Because
Especially
you're
if
right.
technology fails.
Yes, and you're right. When you get an update, a lot of times your things are lost. And then I'm like, okay, where's the number? Because I ain't gonna lie, I don't remember nobody's number. You know how you don't memorize a lot of people's number because of your phone. It's programmed in. So I'm going to get a phone book. I don't have
Oh,
a phone book. I can't
oh,
believe I don't have a phone book. I grew up with that. My mama kept phone books where you have all the relatives and friends. You remember
exactly.
that? I don't own a phone book.
Yep. I found my old phone book or whatever. And I was just like, oh, this is nice. But I said, you know what? I got all these journals around the house.
I do too. That I do.
I'm gonna start putting phone numbers inside the journals. Boom.
There you go. I'm gonna do
There
that
you
because
go. There we
do
go.
they even sell phone books? Look at me talking about I'm going to buy a phone book. It's
I'm
2023.
sure we can find one
Okay.
somewhere, or we'll go on Canva and create one.
There you go.
Boom.
Because
So now
you're
we got
right.
the Dr. Candace phone book that's coming out. It will be dropping in a couple weeks,
There
and
you
you
go.
can go ahead and purchase it on her website for for 19.95, and you'll have
There
your
you go.
phone book. There we go.
Just in case, and we can put passwords in there. Wait a minute, password. Don't let nobody get it. Now, I ain't talking about bank passwords, but
Right, right.
different things such as your email.
Hmm.
A lot of different stuff that we need because we
Yes.
put these things in our phone. You lose your
Mhm.
phone, or your phone update, or your phone break, or
Yep.
things happen to your phone, and now you
Mhm.
don't have important information. So I
There.
think we should do that.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. There we go.
Yes, yes,
Yep.
yes. So before we get started, what else, Dr. T, is going on with you?
Nothing. That's it. What about
Well,
you?
I know what's going on with me. I just want to give myself and Dr. Tyra just a small little shout out. Yeah, this is a small shout out because on Sunday I am on Dr. Tyra's show.
Yes, she
I am
is.
so excited about my book. I really
Yes.
am. How to go from emotional eating to intentional eating in 30 days. Dr. Tyra has granted me and honored me with my presence in order to be on her show. I am
Yes.
very
I
honored. So
can't
I will be
wait.
on her show.
And
I
I
am so
can't wait for
excited.
us to talk about it. Lord knows, because I know I'm the first one buying that book all up in it because I need to do more of, yeah, doing more of the right thing when it comes to this eating thing. So,
I'm
woo,
very excited. I am. I'm very excited. Yes, yes, yes. So, what we doing, Dr. Tyra? This is
all
all you.
right,
What we doing?
we ready? We're ready to get started with the tea. So instead of tea today, I got water.
Right on.
Look, I'm bust out with the water today. All right. So today's tea we're talking about is courtesy of On Site, which is a platform that has a lot of different stories and things on it. So this story really struck me because it was interesting because it said woman claims her terminally ill ex-husband's dying wishes to see her one last time. Her current husband is threatening to divorce her if she goes. So the story reads like this. My ex husband and I got divorced 3 years ago. We didn't have kids, although we wanted them so badly. We knew each other for over 10 years and we had been through so much together. He helped me out with my when my family abandoned me. What we say, abandoned me and quit his job to move with me. He even helped me get my degree. Though the two took vows promising to stay with each other in sickness and health, the woman says her ex husband had initiated divorce because he couldn't take being a burden to her after his diagnosis. So he was already sick and he divorced her, but she went on ahead and married somebody else. She claims that recently her ex husband, who was very sick, reached out to her to see her for what may be the last time, but her husband is not having it. My current husband got extremely upset with me when I mentioned it to him and threatened to divorce me if I go. I'm 5 months pregnant and feel like I'm seeing a side of my now husband I have never seen before, she explained. He called this inappropriate and that her ex was being manipulative. He told her he would divorce her if she goes to see him. And she said, I can't even imagine how terrible I'd feel if he passes away without her seeing him for the last time at this stake. So what does she do? Do she sneak and go, or do she sneak and go behind her husband's back, or do she not go? So Dr. Candace and I talked about it behind the scenes, and I told Dr.
Hmm.
Candace, I said, well, personally, the husband, it's a reason why he's upset, right, with the
Absolutely.
situation. So, reading the story in that, he divorced her because he didn't want her to take care of him. So, it wasn't that he wasn't still in love with her, and it wasn't that she still wasn't in love with him.
Hmm.
She just he didn't want her taking care of him. And that was his problem,
Hmm.
right?
Absolutely. Hmm.
However, for the husband to feel like this must have been a conversation numerous times, and this man must have been a threat to him.
That's what
You
it
know what
sounds
I mean?
like.
So it's a whole lot more to the story, because
Absolutely.
when people write into these news columns and stuff, they only give half the story. We don't really know what's really going on. We always know it's much, much more.
Exactly.
So what do you
Absolutely.
think, Dr. Candace?
Well, I agree with you. When we talked about it earlier, you mentioned, you was like, well, it's more to the story, and we don't know the situation, and it could have been and being manipulative
Mhm.
with the ex-husband. And yeah, to divorce someone because you don't want to be a burden.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's more to the story. Of
Right.
course, you don't get married to be someone's nurse because I'm pretty
Right.
sure that's not what she signed up for.
Right.
However, when I first read it, and the first thing I said to Dr. Tyra was, well, I think they should go. They should go. She should go. Take him with you, even if he stand outside the door, because I was looking at it as compassion. You know,
Okay.
that's how I was looking at it
Mhm.
until Dr. Tyra brought it to me, and she was like, "Yeah, I get that. However, we don't know what transpired behind the scenes, which makes
Mhm.
sense. You
Mhm.
know, I just look at it if he's really his prognosis is he's really dying, and
Mhm.
hospice is there just to keep him comfortable. What's the I'm
The
just saying,
harm.
like, what's the insecurity of
Mhm.
why she cannot go?
Mhm.
And he can go with her.
Right.
I'm looking at it as a compassion thing, just like I said to Dr. Tyra, compassion release. When you in jail, sometimes they let you out of prison because you died
Right.
and you don't have that much time or something. It's called compassion release
Right.
or something like that. So I
Mhm.
was just looking at it from that standpoint.
Right.
If he's no longer going to be with us,
Mhm.
you pay your last
Respect.
respects, have a
Right.
conversation with him,
Mhm.
maybe whatever transpired during the relationship. And if they had a rift, husband to husband,
Mhm.
they can mend that bond. Like, hey man, sorry, you're not gonna be with us anymore. I don't know how that conversation gonna go,
Right.
but sorry, that your health is
Mhm.
declining,
Mhm.
and I wish you the best. And yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know, but compassion. That's
Yeah.
how I'm looking at it.
Right.
And that, I think she should have another conversation with her husband. But
Mhm.
as far as going sneaking to go, no, I wouldn't sneak to go. I
Mm-mm.
will either stand my ground, 10 toes in, and go, or I
Mhm.
will not go. But I wouldn't sneak to go. So I'll tell my current husband, we can go together.
Mm.
Babe, there's nothing going on, but this man is dying. And I'm looking at it from a compassion standpoint
Mhm.
because I was once married to him.
Right.
Yes, the marriage, because we don't know, probably
Mhm.
didn't end like I wanted it to end, but
Mhm.
I was once a part of this man's life and he was a part of mine. So,
Right.
babe, we can go together. You can either go in the room with me or stand outside the door, but there's
Mhm.
nothing going on.
Right.
Maybe, so that's how I'm looking at it. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't sneak.
Yeah.
No, no. What
No,
would you do? Would you go? How would you handle it?
I probably would go out of curiosity. Like,
I
what the
know,
hell
right?
you want?
He probably leaving us something. And that's what I tell my current husband. You don't know what he leaving us.
Exactly. It's a group effort. For all of us. Look, I'm doing this to benefit me and you. This
There you go. I'd be like, you don't
cover
know.
for us all. And you get over
Yes.
there. What the hell you want?
Absolutely. Because remember, as you were reading, it said that she married him while he was ill.
Mhm.
She
Mhm.
was there
Mhm.
and she knew the diagnosis or prognosis but when they got married. So
Exactly.
he just probably want to see her again and say, I put you in my will, or I'm gonna
Right.
leave you the car.
Right.
I don't know. Just
Mhm.
we don't know. Be like, babe, let's just go find out.
Let's go see what
And
it
what I
is. Check
mean,
it out.
yeah. And then that'll make me think too.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna go a little deep here. That would
Mhm.
make me think too. Do I really, like she said, I'm seeing a side of my husband that I've never seen before. I
Right.
will have little nasty taste in my mouth. He's
Right.
leaving a bad taste in my mouth to be so uncompassionate, to
Right.
being so cold when this man is no longer gonna be with us.
Right.
So I'll
Right.
be giving him the side eye like,
Makes you
dude.
wonder. Make you wonder. Make you think.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, this man is dying. Hospice can't help him. He on morphine for the pain till he go. He ain't even eat no more. And we can't go there?
Right. Right.
Yeah, it
Right.
makes you wonder, like, where the compassion?
Yep. That
It's
makes you
like,
wonder.
am I sleeping with the enemy? We can't even go see this
Not just say I'm not sleeping with the enemy.
man? I know.
Hey,
Yeah, it just, yeah. So,
makes you
yeah, I would have
wonder.
to have a talk with him. And my conversation would say, okay, now it's no longer about the ex.
Hmm.
I just want to know when the hell you turned so damn cold.
Right. 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 Hey, only, but it might be just for this person.
Yeah, and I want to know.
Just on this
Well,
person.
babe, I would say, well, sweetie, I get where you're coming from, but we can't hold on to that hatred. We
Right.
can't hold on to that. This man
Right.
about to take that with you, or he want to release it. Maybe it's
Hmm.
something he want to apologize or something.
Yep.
But you can't live with that because this man
Hmm.
getting ready to die, and you living with that. You got to forgive and move on.
Correct. Correct. So
Yeah.
yeah, now the next story we had was courtesy of the Shade Room, right?
Oh.
And this story was more of a self maintenance story. Our topic today is self care, right? but this is self maintenance. A woman discovers that her boyfriend does not use soap to wash. So that is a whole situation,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Where your boyfriend is not washing, that's daily self maintenance. For me, that's a deal breaker. That's a red flag.
Mhm.
That's a no go. That's a I'm leaving. I'm done. I'm out. Dr. Candace, what about you?
Yeah, that is definitely a deal breaker. When I saw that, because I
Hmm.
saw the clips of it, where
Hmm.
she even like I want to call it like maybe booby trapped or set up different traps to
Hmm.
see if he was using the soap and different stuff in the bathroom,
Hmm.
and he couldn't even lie. He couldn't even lie and say, "Yeah, babe, I washed." You a damn lie because you didn't touch that soap. Soap still dry. Only
Dry.
reason why that's so wet because the shower water that you pretended to run hit it. You
Exactly.
didn't pick it up.
Exactly.
I mean, it's that is a definitely a deal breaker
Hmm.
for not just me, but I'm pretty sure I can speak for probably 80% of the population.
It's
You're not washing. You need soap and water to properly get things clean. Sometimes bleach.
exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
But I don't know where she gonna dip him at.
Yes, that's definitely a deal breaker, and it makes you think. And I can imagine as a woman how
Hmm.
she feels saying,
Hmm.
"I've been sleeping with this man. I've been with
Yep.
this man," and
Yep.
now knowing. And I
Hmm.
wonder what made her trap her bathroom like that. Was it a smell? Was it bacteria? Was it something?
It had to be something that was going
It
on
was
that made
something.
her say, "Let me figure this out," because, or he must have had an odor.
Yes.
He had to have an odor for her to, be like that. It must have was a whole odor. So that's what
And
I'm
you know
going
what?
with.
You're right. And I'm going to go a little deep with that. I find it a sign of disrespect.
Yes.
How you treat your body is one thing, but when you coexisting with me and
Mhm.
others,
Mhm.
that's a sign
Mhm.
of disrespect.
Right. Right.
Especially being with that woman and being
Mhm.
intimate and they sharing a dwelling, sharing a bed together, and
Right.
you ain't washed. If you don't get your ass in the tub, that's a sign of disrespect. What a lie to you.
It's not a lie. This,
Yeah, that's a
but you
sign
know what?
of
But that's a whole topic
disrespect.
too. Identifying what is disrespect. Because a
Yes,
lot of
and I
people
feel
don't know
that's
when they
disrespect.
being disrespected.
I know. And if he was to say to her, I ain't did nothing to you just because I ain't watched how I'm disrespecting you, because you layer with me. I'm part of your
Mhm.
life. We're
Mhm.
sharing utensils and cups. We sharing different things around the house.
And hear your ass
We
dirty.
and yeah. Okay. Girl.
A whole filth bomb. A whole filth bomb.
I know. And then you go deep and you think about, are you putting on clean clothes when you go to the bathroom? So you using the bathroom on a daily basis. Hope so. He's supposed to. He,
Mm.
he is. And you ain't
Here we
washing.
go.
But you
Here
sharing
we
your
go.
time and your space with me.
Right.
That's
Right.
totally disrespectful. Yeah, so that's a deal breaker. Yeah,
Yep.
that's a topic. And the mental health minute will be bringing that topic.
Yep.
Absolutely.
There it is. There it is. All right. So we're gonna have a short commercial and we're gonna go right into our topic of today.
Yay.
Yay. So today, everybody, we have a special guest, y'all. We have JS Self Care, our sister from Instagram. Welcome, Janelle.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome, Janelle. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes, everybody.
Oh, thank
Janelle is a
you.
social worker. She's an author. She's a life coach, substance abuse recovery coach, substance abuse advocate. She's an advocate for parental stuff. My girl is doing it. When I tell y'all she got it on lock, she's out of New York, the state of New York, y'all. Welcome to a mental health minute with Dr. Candace and Tyra Janelle Santana Sims.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for seeing the importance of self care. So I truly love my sisters. I appreciate you guys. And I know there's a lot going on in the world. Just let's stay the course. let's stay in this fight because we are in the battle. We're on the battlefield. So thank you for having me.
Yes, girl, there's a whole battle out there. There's a whole lot going on out there, and it was like so funny when Dr. Candace and I, we go over our topics for our show and trying to decide like what topics. And Candace said to me, she said, Tyra, what do you think about self care? And I said, you know what? I said, yeah. She said, we did self care before, which, we've done it numerous times. I said, but she was like, but self care being the highest level of love. And I was like, you know what it is?
Mhm.
I said, because we don't take time. And
Absolutely.
when Dr. Candace came up with that title, I was like, that's it. That is. And I said, well, what you think? I said, you want to guest this week? And she was like, yeah, because we're trying to bring on more professionals to
We
talk
are.
about the things that is, that they're comfortable with speaking about. And I said, Dr. Candace, who else than JS Self Care? I said, we know she's living the truth. She's doing it. She's out here promoting. And I said, got to bring her on to talk about self care. I know you just look, she just released a book, and we talked about the book on my other platform, The Hard Truths of Self Care.
Yes.
Girl, girl. So we are happy to have you on to talk to
Thank
us, to have this conversation with us about self care.
And self care is so important. And ladies and gentlemen that's listening to this, I'm not talking about going clothes shopping or splurging on a brand new car. I mean, all of those things is like great. Please don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about the things that we don't want to touch on, right? One of the things we don't like to talk about is how we're people pleasers, how we're doormats. That's the self care that my platform, that's what we touch on my platform. That's what I touch on with my clients. And I'm not sure who did the eight areas of self care, but that was a masterpiece. I turned that into a class, mental self care, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we not taking care of our mental?
Mm-hmm.
I share with everyone how I have a therapist. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people like social workers is not supposed to have a therapist. Oh, we not? Well, who you think we gonna pour this stuff out on something, all the stuff that we get from our clients?
Mm-hmm.
So mental self-care, physical self-care. I'm not the exercise guru, but I'll tell you, get out there and move. If you don't move, you will lose it.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about that. I'm even talking about sex. Have
Mm-hmm.
some sex. I mean, do it. That's physical movement. Um, and I emphasize on that because a lot of us is in a realm and we forget the one good thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That some of us may like. There's some out there that I can live without it. I mean, but there's some that like it, but it's not considered self-care, so people don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
They're afraid to have those conversations with us who are therapists. They don't, our clients don't want to come in and be like, I did this last night. But I encourage it
Mm-hmm.
through my conversations because if we're normalizing mental health, we're
Mm-hmm.
normalizing, I don't want to say we, but there's a lot of things starting to be normalized on social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things feel like, what? Why can't we normalize the parts of us that we love?
Right. Right. And that, you know what, and you're telling the truth with that, because like you said, with the 8 areas of self-care, I know I've addressed, I've talked about all of the areas, and people like always look at me like I'm crazy when I, talk about like financial self-care. And they look at me like, what you talking about? And I'm just like, you
Better
need
get
to
you
know
some
about
life
this.
insurance.
you
Let's
know,
leave GoFundMe alone.
not just say leave go fund me alone, but but that's the first thing people go to, because these are the conversations that people are not having. We're not having these conversations enough, and it's just like and I love your book, because let me tell you, I was going through them chapters, Dr. Candace, like, wait a minute, wait a minute, and it was just like you found yourself in those chapters. You know what I mean? And with people pleasing, we see that happen all the time.
I was once a people pleaser. I
Mhm.
was once a doormat
Mhm.
because I was so afraid to say no.
Mhm.
I was afraid to tell myself no. Even
Right.
when certain situations I've been in where I was at burnout and I
Mhm.
wouldn't even acknowledge it.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go, I gotta go. People need me, people need me. And one of the hard truths was, Janelle, you need you. Dr. Candace, you need you.
Mhm.
Oh,
Dr.
I definitely know that. Right
You need
on.
me. We need ourselves. We're in this profession because we're considered of people who pours out, right? We
Mhm.
pour out. We
Mm-hmm.
want everybody to plant their seeds, so we got to help water them and things like
That's
that.
right.
But
Mhm.
sometimes we got to be the seed and the pour out for
Right.
ourselves.
Mhm.
And that's what started this business. Just realizing, when I lost my mom, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
parents don't the first hard truth before you even get to the book is my mother never taught me how to live without her. She taught me everything. How to cook, how to clean, how to be a good wife, how to do all those things. She never taught me how to live without her. And
Mhm.
that was a hard truth about self-care because we all know our caregivers, even if you weren't raised by your parents, our caregivers want us to stay alive. They don't want us to die because they pass on,
Mhm.
but they never teach us how to. How
Mhm.
do I move on from this?
Mhm.
And with my two sons, I teach them now, like if mommy is not here, you could always look up to the sky and say, what will mommy do? But what are you going to do? You
Mhm.
can't fall apart. You
Right.
can't. And when I
Mhm.
say fall apart, because we all entitled to falling apart, long as we get back up and put the pieces back together. But when I
Mhm.
say fall apart, I don't want them to sit in sorrow because their mother's not there. And that's something I did when I lost my mom.
Right.
I didn't
Mhm.
know about self-care. I mean, we heard the word. I mean, it's like
Mhm.
the new it word. Self-care, self-care. You running
You're
around
right.
self-care. And then you're like, go shopping, go get your hair and nails done. Then I say, yeah, go get your hair and nails done and feel broken inside. Yep, that's
Broke
self-care.
inside and broke outside.
Hey,
Absolutely. We weren't taught self-care. Certain generations, we weren't taught
Mhm.
that at all.
Mhm.
I'm a Gen Xer,
Mhm.
as Dr. Tyra is as well. And we were not taught. A lot
live
of the
up
Gen
for
Xers
this job.
wasn't
Mhm.
taught self-care at all. It's something that we had to teach ourselves. We
Mhm.
had to reparent ourselves with that.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I
Mhm.
like that.
Yep.
Absolutely. Repair
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah. So
Yep.
that's what self care is all about. It's really digging deep
Mhm.
into what you have going on. We're all different. We
Mhm.
all may have experienced something, the same experiences,
Mhm.
but we all deal with it different.
Right.
If all three of us break our leg, think about it.
Mhm.
We all got the same right leg broken, right? Because
Mhm.
something happened to us, all three of us fell, right?
Mhm.
Dr. Tyra could sit home and never get up and feel self pity and go into a deep depression.
Mhm.
Dr. Candace will turn on Instagram and still do her lives. I could be outside just buying everything at every fast food place because I can't walk in there. We'll all experience it different. It's just how we deal with that
Mhm.
experience, which
Mhm.
makes it self care.
And that's totally right, and it's all in how you handle it. And that's something that a lot of people need to understand. Now, one thing, the other piece that people don't understand, as we talk about, how people go out shopping, nails done, hair done. The one misconception that a lot of people get mixed up is between self care and self maintenance, right? So,
Absolutely.
can you ladies dive into that with the self care and the self maintenance and the confusion? Because people look at all three of us like we crazy when
I
we tell them that's not self care, that's self maintenance, and they like, how you figure? I feel good when I'm done.
That's because temporary gratification.
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
Absolutely. You go
Mhm.
get your nails done, you look at it, oh, my hand's pretty. So it's a temporary thing. And
Mhm.
people would take care of the external first because, again, like Janelle stated, the people pleasing, and the doing everything for everyone else, and to
Mhm.
pouring into others before
Mhm.
you pour into yourself. So
Mhm.
validation comes with those three. So when
Right.
you want validation from others and you crave that, you take care of the outside first. So when you look
Mhm.
pretty on the outside, everybody's like, oh, you look so good. When they don't know inside, you are afraid of your own grief. Ain't even started. Afraid to heal,
Mhm.
don't know how to heal. So
Mhm.
you're right. So with that being said, it's the external that most people go to
Mhm.
first. So
Mhm.
you get your hair done, you get your nails and the lashes, and you take care of the outside, but the
Mhm.
inside don't match.
Right.
We need to learn how to, what Dr. Tyra and I always say, make it match. Start
Mhm.
from the inside out.
Mhm.
Make it
That's
match.
my little take on it.
Yep.
Oh, you're so correct. What I tell people is self-maintenance is also someone that say your hair look good, your nails look done good. Believe you me, I know we all love compliments, right? That's why
Mhm.
we do them.
Mhm.
But if we're into self-care and that inner part, guess what? We could show up in our bonnets, sweatpants, and still feel freaking good as we felt before someone said you look nice.
Mhm.
Because when you're dealing with those behaviors on the inside,
Mhm.
you wouldn't care how you show up. And
Mhm.
in our world of therapists, what we call it, masking, right? What
Right.
are we masking? Right?
Mhm.
I go
Mhm.
to the supermarket. Now I'm telling you, it's mothers in there. We trying to hustle and bustle when my son was younger,
Mhm.
trying to go buy the snacks because I forgot the cheese. I'm running in there looking like a mad woman. Then I see these some women, and I'm like, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking about their faces made up and everything. And I used to say, well, how the heck you do all that? It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm in ShopRite. How did you do that? How did you master that? When we don't feel good,
Mhm.
we put on things so that we don't have to feel. And like you said, it's that instant gratification.
Mhm.
If I went through this last night, if I make up my face, I feel so much better because now I can look in the mirror.
Mhm.
I don't care about makeup. I'm not saying don't wear it. What I'm saying is have a reason to wear it, right?
Mhm.
I'm wearing this because I like it. Not I'm wearing this because I don't want to feel.
Mhm.
There's a difference in that.
Mhm.
I get my hair and nails done because I like it. I don't get my hair and nails done because I want to feel. I'm avoiding the feeling of something else. I'm
Mhm.
avoiding grief. I'm avoiding dealing with a person. I'm avoiding dealing with my supervisor. I'm avoiding dealing with this. So I'm gonna just show up. So the first thing she'll see is me with these funny looking glasses on every day, different glass. She gonna notice
Mhm.
me. That's because I want to be noticed, like Dr. Candace said, because I want that instant gratification. I don't want to deal with that other stuff because that other stuff we
Mhm.
cannot lie is some hard stuff to deal with.
It's
It's
putting on that
Absolutely.
mask. Putting
it's
on
hard.
that mask.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
That's right. Beautifully said. And you know what, Dr. Tyra and Janelle? I'm pretty sure you ladies have heard this term as well. Look good, feel good. That is a lie.
Mhm.
And we grew up with that. I know I did. If you just get up and get dressed, you'll feel better.
Mhm.
You'll feel better if you fix your hair. You'll feel better. Now, okay,
Mhm.
taking a shower, you will feel better. Okay, I will say that. I will say that. That was a TV timer. I will say that. But you know how they say, look good, feel good. That's not necessarily true. Would y'all ladies agree with that?
I would agree. I
Absolutely.
would agree because if
Absolutely.
you physically not feeling well and you take a shower, it's going, the water hit you. Okay, I feel all right, but you're not gonna feel 100% if you got mental things going on. Situations happening, disagreements. You're not gonna feel well.
Mhm.
You're gonna still continue to feel as bad as you did prior to.
So true.
And it's just like, and there is no gratification when you're feeling bad.
So,
Because
absolutely
you're gonna
right. That is so
constantly,
right.
you're gonna be constantly beating yourself up, fi-
Hmm.
finding others to put the blame on.
Hmm.
Because we do a lot of blaming.
Mhm.
When things go south. And the thing is, we got to stop putting that blame and start taking ownership for our behaviors.
Hmm.
Mm.
I totally agree. We
See,
do.
I
We do. And that, and I'm pretty sure, I know I grew up with that term, feel good, look good. That is
Mm,
so untrue. We got to stop that. And hopefully the younger generation will realize that is not true at
mhm,
all. That's why you
mhm,
see a lot of younger women, well, for one, they all look alike, but looking
mhm,
a certain way, and they're not, their mental health is not where it should be. And their emotion, they don't know how to self regulate. You feel what
mhm,
I'm saying? Because they think, well, I look good. Yeah, but how do you really feel?
mhm.
Exactly. So I have a question. Is it okay if I ask the question?
of
Yes.
Now.
course.
Mm,
Okay, so
We are
my question,
look.
because you are a guest here, you a mental health, you are self care expert here, you are guest here. What are some of the first things? What maybe one or two things that you teach your clients about self care? What are some of the first two things that you would teach them when they come and they say, Miss Janelle, I don't know nothing about self care. I ain't got no self care. I just learned that from an Instagram meme I seen. I was not taught that. What? How do I get into self care? Like, what do you teach them? What is some of the first things that you teach your clientele?
The first thing I ask them is, what is their meaning of self care? And then we dive into that because, we all have different meanings. Look good, feel good. You was taught that, so you're like, I'm gonna teach all my clients that. Look, if you get yourself out of bed, you feel better, like you said. The reason why I asked what is self care, and then we dive into that, because most of my clients, we're gonna say about 96% of them are gonna say, well, I go get my hair done. I go on shopping sprees. I do this, I do that. And then the next thing we'll teach them is, well, what is those feelings while you're doing it? What is those feelings before the thought to go do it? Well, look, my husband's stressing me out. I had to go out, right? Then we'll dive into, what does that stress look like? How can you level out that stress? Sometimes it's lack of communication, right? You could say, then you would tap into that communication part with them. But that's self care, because we always look for excuse. She did this, he did that. You just said it. We're very good with pointing a finger. I'm here because they getting on my nerves. Nobody comes in our office and say, I'm here because I want to take care of my mental. I'm here because if I don't come in here, I'm gonna blow up New York, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You hear all that because they don't really know that they're really here because they need to tap into that inner. They need to tap into it. But it's hard to say, right? Because we're perfect, right? It gotta be the world that's messing us all up. It can't be us. I behave the way I behave because you make me do that. How
mhm,
many times have you heard that? And then when you say, well, you behave because somebody can control how you behave,
mhm,
then we'll tap into, how can you control your emotions and stop allowing others to control our emotions. So once they open a door with self-care from that one question, then we tap into the different areas of, okay, where do you see that you need to improve? Because I don't have the other person here. If it's not a couple in our office, we can't help the outside person, right? We only can help the person standing in front of us. So we have to teach them, what
mhm,
part did I play in this?
mhm,
And sometimes the parts that we play in certain situations, think of it. Don't everybody expect, oh, they need to exit left. They need to get out my face. Why don't you get out their face?
mhm,
Why don't you exit left? Is it the same exit? Is it the same exit they can exit? So that is self care. Stop expecting everyone to do something and you sit there and do nothing.
mhm.
Love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Then that's the thing when it comes to self care is ownership.
Mhm.
It's all about ownership. And a lot of people don't want to take ownership for their behaviors at all. It's like if I can find someone else to blame this on, then yeah, I'll just do that. I'll blame it on them because they're the ones that caused this to happen. And
Mhm.
it's just like, well, wait a minute, what did you do? Where was your part in all of this?
They did nothing.
Hmm. Yeah, because again, it's easy to play the blame game.
Absolutely.
Yes. Do you think, Janelle, that self care is incorporated in everything?
It should be. It
Okay.
should be.
Absolutely.
Help. I mean, I'm in my 40s, late 40s. So I'm gonna say this: an apple a day will keep the doctor away. That's self care.
Hmm.
And it really
Hmm.
does work. If we throw a piece of
Hmm.
fruit in, even in the past, and I mean, even the sweetest fruit, but we got something natural from a tree, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's help. That's self care. Think about anything you do, even if you, when you were writing your book, Dr. Candace, what did
Hmm.
you get out of that that was self care? Name
Oh,
one thing.
one thing. One thing. Oh, I can name several. One thing. One thing I got out of my book that was self care was time. Time for me.
Mm,
Even though I've been valued. I almost tripped up and said I always value my time. No, I haven't, but I have valued my time for a couple of years now. However, I put another spin on it with writing this book and putting my heart into it. It was another spin on my time.
mm.
Oh yeah, it
Self.
leveled up. I leveled up with my time, the value of my time.
Mm,
Now there's a value on it.
yeah.
There's a value on it. Hi Dee, how are you? Absolutely, absolutely. Can I ask another question, Dr. Tyra?
Sure.
Can I ask another question? My next question is, what for the viewers? What are the eight? Is it 8 or 9 pillars of self care?
It's 8. Now I'm gonna go off the top of my head, Dr. Tyra. You know some mental self care, physical self care,
Hmm.
emotional self care. I'm stuck there. Mental,
Mental, emotional, financial, spiritual,
financial,
emotion. You said emotional,
yeah,
environmental.
environmental self care. That's important. Ooh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about that one.
Mm.
Okay, guys.
That's a good one. We're missing two. We'll find them later. We'll let the viewers know.
Guys, guys, environmental.
That's
Hmm.
a good one. Let's talk
Hmm.
about that, please.
Ooh, Dr. Tyra, I'm gonna fight you. That was a good one.
Look,
Oh my
we
God.
we know how it goes when it comes to that, because when it comes to the environment, right, you got to look at where you're at.
Mm,
Okay, and it's like, when it comes to environmental, I will say this. I will admit, on a mental health minute, I do have a lot of clutter, and I am decluttering my life as we speak. As we speak, right? But environmental would be um the time that you spend with technology. Hello, hello. Everybody, during the pandemic, we was all a victim of staying online, right? And during that time, we should have been using our time to be decluttering our lives, right? So that our environment will be free of extremities, things that don't mean won't cause us any issues, right?
mhm,
Freeing our energies up, if
mm.
that makes sense, so that we can more allow more positive energy in, right? And just maintaining a clean and safe environment for ourselves.
I love it. That makes a lot of sense, Dr. Tyra. And let's go a little deeper on that one. I
Hmm.
love that. I never heard of that. I never thought of it like that.
Hmm.
Environmental self care. Absolutely. How about internal environment self care too?
Hmm.
What you put
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
and what you take out.
Hmm.
Because a lot
Hmm.
of us have clutter in here and clutter in
Woo.
here. So it's
Hmm.
time to say, wait a minute, I got to declutter. So we don't just need to
Hmm.
clean out the purse and clean off the desk. We got to clean this out. How about that?
Hmm. Yep.
I
Ooh,
love it.
I
Hmm.
love it. I'm
Yep.
gonna
Internal
say
environmental self
yes.
care. So
I
that would be, so where it was 8, now it's 9.
9. Yes, we
Now
added
There
it's
you
9.
go.
You
I
know,
love that.
but then you
yes.
also have professional self cares also,
That's the one
right?
we
And
missed.
the professional self care is
I'm
with
writing
in
that down.
regards to negotiating your needs,
Mm.
being able to feel comfortable with setting that B word, and the B word is boundaries.
Boundaries with consequences. Remember, we cannot set a boundary without a consequence. Boundary
Exactly.
set without a consequence is
Mhm.
null and void. If
Mhm.
you do this, I will do this.
Mhm.
Simple.
Yes. I love that, Janelle, because a boundary set without consequences. Girl, that ain't no boundary. That's a negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
Now you saying, well, I can negotiate how you treat me. If you
Mhm.
do A, B, and C, that's fine. I'm
Mhm.
just gonna negotiate and I'm gonna get in where I fit in.
Mhm.
But if
And
there's
Mhm.
a boundary, it's consequences. Love that.
Yep. You
I'm
got
going to say
spiritual on the
for
list.
environmental,
Mhm.
people, places, and things. And people
That part.
equate that to substance abuse. Let me tell you, it's bigger than
Mhm.
substance abuse.
Mhm.
Environment. Your
Mhm.
environment is how you behave.
Yep.
When we were younger, I mean, I grew up in the South Bronx. Our environment was to stand on the corner, right?
Mhm.
Hang with your friends on the corner. There's some of my friends still on that corner. They still holding it up. I don't know if the building's gonna fall or anything. And
Janelle.
it's no shade. I love them. I love them. But because I chose, because Dr. Candace said it, time. We all
Mhm.
are allowed it 24 hours. There's no one on this earth that is allowed
Mhm.
it more than 24 hours or less than 24 hours.
Mhm.
The universe said, I'm gonna give everybody these 24 hours. What are you gonna do within those 24 hours? Right?
Mhm.
Where are you gonna be?
Mhm.
Think of the lock song. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna be? Where are you gonna be? Right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Where you're at. No, none of us on this platform could tell you that your environment is jacked up. Only you could tell you that your environment is jacked up.
Mhm. Right.
Because fun to you guys may be boring to us.
Mhm.
People, places, and things. Think of the
Mhm.
things you get involved with.
Mhm.
Now, we're all on these platforms, so 50,000 people are in our DMs, some inappropriate stuff.
Right.
What
Right.
are we doing with that? Are we deleting and blocking and unfollowing? What
Mhm.
are we doing?
Mhm.
Places. Where you at? Where you at 5 o'clock? Are you where you need to be?
Mhm.
Because I'm not gonna do this person made me do it. You're
Mhm.
over. I mean, we make our little ones. You say you had a 13-year-old. That 13-year-old better listen.
Mhm.
But once that 13-year-old turns 18 and out your house, because I know we old school parents, you ain't grown till you move up out of this camp.
Right on.
But
Right on.
they got to make those decisions. People,
Mm-hmm.
places, and things. If we instill that in our kids, people, places, and
Mhm.
things, what you associate with will be your outcome.
Mhm. Yep.
You
That's
associate
right.
with addicts, your outcome, you will be an addict. If you
Mm-hmm.
associate yourself on platforms like this, you will learn how to take care of yourself. You'll call a therapist in your area because this is the platform we're on. We wouldn't be in certain rooms on Facebook, Instagram, and Clubhouse and all those things. We would stay far away because people, places, and things matter. It
Mhm.
attracts our energy, and that's how we behave. So
Absolutely.
I sit
Mhm.
that one at.
Yep. Yeah. And then we had spirit. You had spiritual on that list, Candace. Spiritual self care.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
I
Okay.
did.
And then
Mm-hmm.
and physical self care.
Yes, physical.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Physical, emotional, social.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I didn't have social.
Yeah, that was the one you was missing. Social. And
Okay, what is
social
social
is
self care?
social
What would
self
how would you
care.
ladies
That's a
describe that?
support group,
This.
Okay,
networking relationships.
okay,
Like a like all of us right here. Being able to honor your commitments.
Mm.
okay.
With people. Being able to ask for help when you need it.
That's right.
That's
Without
a
guilt.
social self care without feeling guilty. Yup. Being able to meet new people.
Ooh.
Now, people was running around. I just think about how these folks was running around these streets talking about no new friends, and all that kind of nonsense. And I would say, girl, bye.
Wow.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean? At this point, if
exactly.
you don't meet new people, you stay stuck.
Mm.
Right.
And if that's the life you want to live, then you go right ahead and just keep being stuck.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then being able to take that time to spend time with friends and family.
That's
Yes.
That's
right. I
also
love it.
social self care. Anything you want to add to that, Janelle?
I want to
Socially?
say social self care is what we're doing right now, like Dr. T said, and also just being open to meeting new friends.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Being open to that.
Mhm.
I
That's
met
right.
I met Dr. Tyra and Dr. Candace during the pandemic.
Yes.
And when I
Yup.
see them live, I be on their replays
Mhm.
because I know what they're feeding me is good stuff.
Right.
and I take what
Mm-hmm.
I need to take from it and leave what I need to leave right there. But
Mm-hmm.
that is social self-care. I only want to be around like-minded people. I
That's
cannot
right.
be around stuck people
Mhm.
because I don't care what nobody say. If
Mhm.
our crew is stuck, guess what? We will be stuck. You can't
Mhm.
overpower stuck.
Mhm.
Okay?
That's right.
You can't overpower it. When I go to these networking events, when I
Mhm.
go out to, I'm going out to Fridays, I'm doing social self-care with my coworkers tonight.
Mhm.
When I do all these things, it's because they're like-minded people. We're
Mhm.
sitting at
Mm-hmm.
that table and we're like, how can I do this better? Where can I go with this? What can I
Mhm.
do? If no one is not asking those questions and you want to sit at a table and talk about Dr. Tyra to me, I will exit left. Thank you.
That's right.
If I need
Mhm.
to pay for the check, I'll pay for the check because I just wasted your time. Whatever
Mhm.
I need to do. But social self-care is just getting in those arenas with like-minded people.
Mhm. People that you can grow with.
Right. And I
Mm-hmm.
always say this on every platform whenever I'm on with Dr. Tyra. I met Dr. Tyra on the Fat Man School platform.
Yep.
Okay.
What happened? What happened on that platform? He
Mhm.
always gave Dr. Tyra a minute to talk with us. And
Mm-hmm.
what did she do? We laughed with the shit, excuse my language, with the shits and giggles. But guess what else? She got on that platform and she spoke about things that we're doing wrong and how we could better ourselves. And if you're not okay with people telling you what you're doing wrong, there's a problem. If I'm
Mhm.
doing wrong, I need Dr. Tyra and Dr. Candace to be like, yo, JS, you know I'm calling to check you. Like, what's going on with you? I
Yeah.
would consider that more a friend than Dr. Candace be like, yeah, Janelle, keep doing you. Listen, it was funny. You can act a fool. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it. I
And
don't
that is not us.
Duh.
want friends like
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't
Mhm.
want those type of people that co-sign to everything I do. I want
Right.
those people to be like, nah, take Janelle, you put that up, take it down. Don't act
Yep, that's Tyra and I. That's Dr. Tyra
like,
and I.
are you what? Take it down because guess what?
Yeah.
You guys probably saved me from somebody that's looking at my page and getting ready to give me $1 million business deal. You guys
Right?
saved me
Mhm.
because you
Right.
didn't co-sign to my BS. You checked
Mhm.
me. Janelle, I know you could be better than that. You angry? Get on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Let me talk to you. Free session. Let me talk to you. But you're
Mhm.
not going to get on that platform and you're not going to act a fool. And I don't
That's
Mhm.
care
right.
if your mother and father not here. I'm going to be your mother and father because sometimes we got to be checked like our parents check us.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You right. You right.
Exactly. And that's what real good people and real friends are supposed to do.
Mhm.
Exactly. Absolutely. That's what they do. They don't just let
Mhm.
this, hey, just shit go to the wayside. They're like,
Right.
no, let's talk about it. Like, what happened? What we doing?
Yes.
Like, where
Let's
they do
go
that
back
at?
there.
We can't
Exactly. Exactly.
do that.
That was
Absolutely. I
good.
love it. Self care is so deep. I am so glad we had
It
this
is.
conversation because self care is really, really deep. It goes deeper than just hair and nails and clothes and smelling
Mhm.
good and looking good. It starts
Mhm.
in the inside. Would you ladies agree that it starts in the inside?
Oh,
Absolutely.
definitely. Definitely. It
Absolutely.
definitely
Yes.
starts in the inside.
And I
Yes.
love that
Definitely.
you guys put highest level of love. I
Yeah,
never,
absolutely.
and I may steal that, so I'm gonna let you know, and I'll
And
give
you can
you
have
guys
it.
credit, but highest level of love.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. So
Yes.
let me hear from you and Dr. Tyra with your own personal walk with self-care.
Mhm.
What are some of yours, two from each, please, if you can, your highest level of self-care, your highest level of love on a personal level that you two ladies do for yourself?
You want me to go first,
You
or
can go
you
first, Janelle.
saying no? No.
Mhm.
Period. I don't know what that does to my brain, but it makes me happy.
Mhm.
Saying no, and the next thing of highest level of self-care is taking needed breaks when I need to just sit on the couch and
Mhm.
just I say sit on the couch and just look stupid. Those are the best times. When you're
Mhm.
just sitting down and you like
Mhm.
a bump on a log, no
Mhm.
thoughts, no bills thinking about. That's what I
Mhm.
do myself. Sometimes I just come from work and I just sit there. And everybody, my son, well, one son, I only got one kid here, but he'll come down and be like, "Mom, you okay?" Yes.
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
doing a human moment. I'm not thinking about anything.
Mhm.
Loving life. So sitting, sitting with myself, just not thinking about anything and saying no, I think are my highest levels. And because I struggled with those in the past. So I want to say those two things.
I think for me, my number one is also saying no. I say no to everything, and I've always, I tell people when it comes to no, y'all know my no is next opportunity. I tell everybody because there's something else greater out there. So that is always mine. And I would say my second form of self care is being able to have my morning routines.
Mm,
Staying focused to my routines. It was a time in my life where I just, where I was only focused on just, going to work, coming home,
mhm,
and not doing anything else. And so now, and I'm gonna say somewhat being all over the place, right? But now being able to say, okay, I decided to start taking a little bit more time for myself and doing a little bit more for me,
mhm,
because it was just like for me, mindless TV is something that I enjoy doing when I have my time. Now, as time progresses, I'm like my goal, one of the self care goals that I set for myself because I said, that's something that we need to start working on too.
mhm,
Self care goals
mhm,
is I want to get to the level where Dr. Candace is at, where she takes her break every 3 months. And so that's a goal that I want to do. Like Dr. Candace be like, she'll tell you, look, if we don't know anything, we know March the 16th, June 16th, September 16th,
Wow.
December 16th. That's a wrap. I don't care what day of the week it is. It can be on a Monday, it can be on a Tuesday. As long as you know those 4 quarters, right? On the 16th, she gone for 3 weeks. Don't come at her. Don't
So
call her
true.
for work. Don't do nothing, right?
Oh, I want to
And
do that too.
and so that's my self-care goal is to be where she is, where I can say, even if I don't take the 3 weeks off like she do, I, Janelle, look, we
Just
could
a down day.
start it where we even take just the, I'm gonna do a baby step, right? And my baby step is gonna be where, okay, I can't do three, but I'll do one.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because at this
There you
point,
go.
as long as I know, even if I can't take the whole 7 days, I'll take four.
Thank
As long as I know I have that in my mind, because see, at this point, right, you know how it takes 60 to 90 days to create a habit, right?
you. Mhm.
Dr. Candace, she implanted that habit in her life, right? In her mindset, is in her schedules. Even if the schedule ain't written down, it is in her phone, right? She knows that this is happening.
Wow.
And so at this point in our lives as professionals, we need to start doing that.
Exactly.
Even if we don't do it, the based off the 4 quarters, right? Even if we do it on the off quarters, at least we know in our mind we got that together. I only had one other person in my life that was like that, that took a whole month off and was just like, girl, don't call me that month. I'm on vacation. Look, and I'm just and it was like so funny. And I was like, you on vacation? But the whole month is, and this is one of my friends, and it was so funny because when we went to Vegas, I seen her in Vegas, and so she's like, "Girl, I'll go back to work till October, maybe November." And I said, "Maybe." But this is what she, and she conditioned that from September 1 to September 30, I'm off. And so the reasoning, I understood the reasoning, which was based off of school,
Wow.
children and school. Kids always need you the month of September, and that's always the month of, I got to shift my balance. You know what I mean? But now it's time to start conditioning ourselves to schedule, get our self care goals together. And so, so Dr. Candace, I commend you. I love
Thank
you. I
you.
commend you for that
Thank
because
you.
you basically put in my mindset and in the mindset of others where, we sit down, we joke and we laugh about it, about Dr. Candace. Oh, we know the 16th coming. But at the end of the day, right, with all the jokes and the laughs about it, right, now it's time for us to get our mind right and
Wow.
start doing this. Because when she comes back off of her vacation, she
She's
comes back with a whole new mindset, free and clear of all of the energy that was put inside of her during those 3 months.
Yes.
wow.
Yep. I love
Question
it.
for you, Dr. Candace.
Thank you.
I got the question. I got to ask. Why the 16th? And if it's personal, most definitely say it's personal. Why the 16th? And why did you pick quarterly to do this for you?
Oh, okay. Great question. I'm sorry, my dog in the background, everyone, but this is a live show, so that's okay. So the 16th, it just worked out that way. It just worked out that way. And it really did. And I just stuck with it. Now, why quarterly is because we are all bio individuals. I am not just a neuropsychologist. I am a doctor as well, a physician. And my body can only take so much mentally and physically. So I can give my patients, my family, and the world, I give you 90 days, and then I got to take 3 weeks of it. So
Mm.
I work 90 days, and then I'm done. So every 90 days, so every 3 months, and then that's it. That's what I can give. At this age and stage in my life, that is what I am willing to give in order to save my life, in order to have a life, in order to keep a life, and in order to live, you get 90 days.
Wow.
So those are the reasons why. That's all I give. That's all I give. Anybody wants to talk to me? You got 90 days. Let's do this. I tell everybody, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's jury duty. You got 90 days. I got to be there. Okay, he guilty. I don't know what we doing. It's 90 days. Because I know March 16th, I'm out. I don't care if it's surgery. Cut this off now. Because when I go, we ain't doing that. I don't. I shut it down. I shut it down.
I'm
And I
just
can't believe my friend know my date. She is right. March 16th, I'm out.
She
I'm like,
out. We already look. We already established that. Look.
yeah,
yep.
yeah.
And I've been doing it for a while and I love it. It saved my life because I am not one of those people that's going to wait to live. No, I'm going to live now.
Absolutely.
I'm living now. But I love my career. So I said, wait a minute, who you love more? Your career, Candace. Candace?
Ooh.
And I don't work every day. Oh, no, no, no. So with the 90 days, I work maybe 76, maybe 67. I don't work every day. No, 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 no. See, I've been there, done that. I've been working since I was 14. So I paid my dues. And my ancestors has already created the path, and I paid my dues. So I give from a full cup.
Yes.
They get 67 or 70 some days from me. And then I'm like, okay, break. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I can do.
I
Because
love
that's what I'm willing to do.
no,
Yeah.
that makes sense. And I asked because I was like, the wheel started turning. Most people that work jobs, right? They get 4 weeks vacation. And you actually did it in a way that anybody listening to this platform could know 90 days, mentally and physically, you're done, right? And that's at your recommendation. Please, nobody Google this. It's at Dr. Candace recommendation. After the 90 days, if you give yourself a week to recharge your battery,
Mm-hmm.
you could come back fully charged, right?
Yep.
Then you
Mm-hmm.
go at it again. Then you got to hook up to the charger. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I thought of it. And I thought to ask you because I was, in the head, like, we get 4 weeks vacation.
And what's crazy is we get those 4 weeks vacation, right? Ladies, do we know anybody that actually take them 4 weeks every 3 months?
Nobody.
No.
I don't know a soul.
Nobody takes it, and then you look up, and the time is building up and up and
Mhm.
up and up. And I look at like when my father died, right? When my father died in 1997, he died with over 606 sick hours. Okay, because this man never called out sick. Had a heart attack on the job and went back to work the next day. You see what I'm saying? And he only lived like maybe 2 weeks after that, right? And then he died 2 weeks later. And when I say like he took vacation only when he not like he should have, but at the end of the day, it was just like when I look at all of those hours that was, pretty much left, not taken. It's just like at that point, and in 1997, wasn't nobody talking about self care.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Nobody wasn't talking about it.
You never heard of that word. Just like financial
Absolutely.
literacy. Never heard of that word.
Right.
Very clear
Absolutely.
on that. Never heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Pay your rent, pay
And
your light bill.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely that, and we don't. We work in traditional jobs when you're not self-employed. We don't. They roll over, and sometimes if this the vacation and sick days don't roll over, you lose it, or you be like, wait a minute, can I cash out? Just put
Right.
that on my check. We be asking, can we get that money? We be asking,
Right.
can we? And like if we quit or go to a new job, put all my money, put that on there. We do that, and we forget about that. But I want people to know, and I put this in my book as well. I want people to know that our bodies have just like your car have the check engine light.
Mm-hmm.
Our body give us signals, and if y'all don't know this, and this is science, at your job. You got 24 hours, like Janelle stated. We all get 24 hours, a lot of 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
The brain and the body, especially the brain, after 4 hours sitting at your job typing, whatever you doing, the brain like, I ain't doing this. I know you lying. You better
Mm-hmm.
step outside, go to the bathroom, do something. And then it'll give a signal to the kidneys. Tell her she got to go to the bathroom. Make her hungry. That's how the body works. We get 8 hours to work at a job, but your body. And y'all know this. We be playing solitaire, doing other stuff, talking to your coworker, hanging out in the break room. You know damn well you ain't working 8 hours at that job. You feel what I'm saying? Our bodies don't do that. What a lie. I used to work for the county. Girl, I can say this now. On this platform live, I gave them all 3 hours. And the other 8, girl, I was shopping. I was the girl talking to my best friend. I was doing all types of stuff. But I gave them a good 3 hours work. I sure did. Am I the only one? I know I ain't. That's how the brain works. So if the supervisor was to say, Candace, I noticed, look, if you look it up in science, you only get the 3 hours from this. I gave you that 3 hours. Now what y'all want me to do? It ain't my fault y'all paid me for 8. You should have hired me for the 3 hours. Science, that's all I can give you. That's just realistic.
But you're telling the truth. You telling the truth. It's all fact. And God forbid if you was a smoker, the people with the smoke breaks that's out
you
there.
outside smoking
They
cigarettes
3 times in 1 hour.
Girl, I paid my bills. I was calling the light company. I was making arrangements. You know how you paying your bills, making doctor's appointments. I was doing all types of stuff. Talking to my kids' school. I was doing all types of stuff at that job.
And then, wait a minute. Then after you done did all that, I'll be right back. I gotta go to lunch.
I know, right? But I work 3 hours hard though. That's all you get. I'm trying to tell you. So there you go. So when I learned, because we are bio individuals, when I learned what Candace can do, I was like, oh, that's all you can do. That's it. And sometimes we push ourselves, but what's that called? Burnout and stress.
Yep.
And stress is the number one, besides food, the number one cause of terminal or severe diseases. So there you go. So that's all I can give. I can get 3 hours. That's it. So since I know that, I had to say, okay, God, now you know all I'm gonna give these people 3 hours. What we doing? And he said, go on walk in your gift. I gave you a gift. Go on walk in that, because I'm gonna get. You can do 5 for that, and I do 5 hours. That's it.
It's so true though. I'm thinking like, well, I go in the office, I got my cup of coffee, I'm eating this big old meal, whatever I had for lunch the day before for breakfast. I gotta go to the microwave. Now, mind you, you on the clock, you're drinking your coffee. Now you're going to the microwave. Then you hit the on button. Let me check these emails. Now I'm not answering that. They're gonna wait. Then you like, let me see what's most pressing. Bang that out. Oh, gotta go to the bathroom. Now You need your 15-minute snack. Now you got to go downstairs to get
There you go. There you
45
go.
minutes later, you at lunch. I
Exactly.
never thought of that.
Yeah, so
That's
the
how
brain
they go.
actually works. I mean, literally get into it for pushing it 5, but
Mm-hmm.
3 hours. That's why my son, my 13-year-old is in school,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, you got to study, you got to do this. Get these kids 30 minutes. Take a break, maybe do another 30 minutes. But sitting all day, that ain't healthy because the brain ain't
Right.
going to be able to do that.
Right.
It's not. It's not. Yes, and to the question that I asked you, ladies, what are the two things? And y'all said it.
What's your
Mine
two
is
things?
my highest self care is health.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely health.
Mm-hmm.
My health come before anything in this world.
I know
My
that's
health
right.
come before my children, and I'm a mother of 4.
Mm.
Because see, I'm the head. This is the health. If I ain't right, what you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
My health is the highest level for me, and then safety is number 2. I
Mm-hmm.
got to feel safe in here. See,
Mm-hmm.
when it's called what I teach my patients, and what it's called, it is called your counteractive domain.
Mm-hmm.
When your counteractive domain is off, everything in your life is off. When
Mm.
your counteractive domain is good, everything fall in place.
Mm-hmm.
Example, when my health is off, oh, child, this house can fall in. Everything falls apart from the
Mm-hmm.
business to the house to the heavens above. When my health, when I don't feel safe, everything falls apart. And I mean internal safe.
Mm-hmm.
Because safety, I ain't worried about it. Out
Mm-hmm.
here, you know, got my family, got my husband, got my 2 boys, I'm good. But I'm talking about in here when I don't feel safe. But when I feel safety and my health on point, oh, the
Mm.
skies just open up and everything's good.
I love
So so I always tell people when they come to me and they say, Dr. C, I'm off. Something's wrong. I don't feel this. My depression level is this. I'm here. I'm there. Okay. What's the counteractive domain? What is it that you need to survive?
Mm.
Some people say money. Okay, since you know your money off, we got to get a good relationship with money. Because your
Mm-hmm.
money off. You when your money is off, you off.
Yeah.
So now we got to learn how to self-regulate that. So those are mine. Mine is safety and my health.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This
Man, I
was
like those two.
awesome.
I
I
love
like those two also.
I'm like
Look, I
safe.
think we all got some good ones.
Yeah. Yeah. This was
Yes,
dope.
yes, y'all do, especially with the no. Oh, I love that. Yes, but I've been saying hell no since I was 15. Hell no, I ain't
Yeah.
doing that. Uh-uh. Oh, I've been saying that a long time.
We added
Oh,
to
I'm
the
gonna
But
speak
top.
you
up.
know what? It's so many people trying to make you feel guilty for saying no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
You
a complete
know,
sentence.
and it's a complete sentence, and you
Cause
don't have to
see,
give an explanation.
that's right. We don't give an explanation when we say yes.
Ooh.
Exactly.
When somebody asks to borrow your money and they say, Janelle, can I borrow $200? Yeah.
Yeah.
She don't ask you why you said yeah. But when you say no, and she like, girl, why not? When I gave it to you before, you didn't ask me why. I was giving it to you, so don't ask me why I'm not. It's a complete sentence.
Mhm.
Whoa. I
Yep.
like
That's right. I love
Exactly.
it.
Dr.
This
That's
King
was
right.
is special.
awesome.
Them spies. I'm
Awesome
like,
sauce. Awesome sauce.
Great show.
Yeah, it
yes, this
was.
was
So,
amazing.
yeah.
Amazing. I hope our listeners just, everything we said may not be for everyone. It
Mhm.
may not be, but I know for a fact we said something that's for you. Take this opportunity right now, open up that toolbox and add it to your toolbox.
Mhm.
You got to put you first. Kids, all these people can't come before you because you're going to pour from that empty cup. And as Dr. Candace said, you're going to be dead.
Mhm.
DEAD.
Mhm.
And you're not going to be able to pour when you're in the pearly gates. You can't pour nothing.
Mhm.
So we most definitely got to utilize these tools like this platform to just become better. We're not asking for a miracle on 34th Street. If you're my age, you know that movie. We're not asking for a miracle. What we're asking is something very simple. Don't be who you were yesterday, today, and don't be who you are today, tomorrow. Same 24 hours. Same 24 hours. We all got it. Do
Mhm.
something small. more and become better. So I want to thank you, ladies, because I learned
You're
so much.
welcome.
It's going to be on the replay because I didn't write notes like you did. So I'm gonna be on YouTube. Pause. Let me
This
but
was so
thank you.
awesome. This was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes,
Janelle, we
Hope you
thank you
guys invite
so
me
much.
again. Would love to come back.
absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
You
Thank
were
you.
an amazing guest. We're really honored to have you. I am so glad Dr. Tyra was like, I got somebody. I'm like, thank you. And I am so glad. She always get the good people. Always.
Look, I
Yes.
told Candace, this is our baby, and I am very
Yes.
selective with folks we
She
bring through,
is.
because my thing is we have to have the right energy, and
Yes.
and all of that plays of an important role with what we're doing with our platform. So we thank you so much for
Yes.
coming
Thank you.
through and sharing with us about self-care. Make sure y'all go to Amazon and
Yes.
get Janelle's book, The Hard Truths of
I love it.
about self-care, y'all. It's an amazing book. I
Yeah.
highly recommend it. It's so funny because you know what? We got two loyal viewers that's
Yes.
always on, Alex and D. And you know what? For the two of them, I want y'all to. I think D, I have your address, but DM me y'all addresses. I'm going to send them a copy of Janelle's book.
Yes. And is there any way to put the link to Janelle's book on our on
You know what?
here?
Yeah, you know what? What I'll do is I'm gonna put the link to Janelle's book on our page when we.
Good.
I'm gonna put it on the
Thank
YouTube
you.
channel, and then I'll put it on Facebook so our viewers can go through and watch.
Good.
Thank you.
Purchase the
Dr.
book.
Candace, when your
So
book come out? Do you have a date?
February 27th. Yes, it's on pre-sale now, and it's February 27th. And I poured my heart in it. Yes, I did. I poured my heart in
Please
that book.
send us the link so we can most definitely
Absolutely.
support and learn.
Yes.
Read a page a day, guys. That's all. Read a page a day.
Yes.
yeah,
A
that's
page
all
a
we
day.
ask.
Yeah, we're not
That's
asking
all.
for a miracle. We just ask to read a page a day. And if you feel compelled to just keep going, keep going. But a page a day will
Hmm.
change your life. It really will. So
That's
I'm
right.
looking
Yeah.
forward to getting your book because I need
Thank
my life
you.
changed for sure.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys.
Thank you, Janelle. Thank you,
Thank
thank you,
you.
thank you. And thanks for the last words today, also. All right. That was our guest today, Janelle Santana Sims. Thank you so much. Bye. All right. Dr. Candace, your last words for today.
My last word is self-care.
Hmm.
With self-care, for the ones that's watching the show and has not implemented self-care, my
Hmm.
last word today is start where you are. And self-care is do what you want to do and what makes you feel good and what you are comfortable with. Just start there. Start where you are. That's my last word today.
And my last word today is choose you. Two words.
Right on.
Choose you. Because at the end of the day, you have to choose you before you choose anybody else. And sometimes
That's
we
right.
take ourselves and we put everybody before everything else that we have going
Hmm.
on. But the thing is, we need to start focusing more on choosing ourselves before
That's
everybody else.
right.
And that is my last word on this Self Care Friday. Self care,
Beautiful.
highest level of love.
Beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for joining and watching us today. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes, and
Thank
I wore
you.
my Me Before We shirt today.
I love
Look,
it. I love it. Oh my God, I got to get one. Are they on your site?
yes, they
Are
on.
they?
Yeah, they should be still on the site. Other than that, just let me know your size. I'll get it out there. I ain't worried.
Yes, got to get one.
Yes,
Love it, love it, love
yes.
it.
Well, we thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Please watch the replay. We will talk to all of y'all next in 2 weeks. We'll be back in two
Yes,
weeks. So we
we'll be
want you
back.
all to have an awesome, awesome, awesome 2 weeks.
Yes, we'll
And
be back.
watch us on our platforms because we also be on. I'll be on Sunday. Dr. Candace will be on Monday. So we will
Yes.
talk to all of y'all then. Have an awesome, awesome 2 weeks, y'all. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
Mhm.